Hello everyone, I am Will, and welcome back to my playthrough of Dark Souls 2, Sky of the First Sin. Last we left off, we officially finished up the Crown of the Ivory King. All really had left to do was the frigid outskirts, as well as talking to Alsana back in the Grand Cathedral. And so we just kind of ran through the frigid outskirts, through the blizzard, and past all the stupid reindeers. The only loot of note out in the frigid outskirts is the Mira hat. Yeah, it's very similar to Lucatiel's mask. It's just that it's just the hat part. Yeah, the hat with no mask. But and the only other loot of note is the Ring of the Living. I think it's what it's called. It's a ring that transforms white phantoms into, well, it takes away their little white silhouette. Makes them look like the host player. That's basically it. I mean, the hat's there for fashion souls. The ring is there, I don't know, maybe to confuse invaders, I guess, maybe. But anyway, yeah, so we did manage to get to the very end on our first try, except I did a dumb thing. Yep. I tried to go back up to grab the Ring of the Living that was right by the entrance towards the boss at the end of the frigid outskirts, but apparently once you pass a certain threshold towards the boss arena, the blizzard disappears, and the frigid outskirts, the reindeers will spawn every time the blizzard starts up again. So if you made your way to the end and you go back up, the blizzard will start up again, and there's like I think I confirmed 3 spawn points of reindeers at the very end of the frigid outskirts. Yeah, so if you go back up, 3 reindeer are going to spawn, and they will pretty much instantly aggro onto you, and at that point, you're done. I mean, it's fighting 1 reindeer at a time, doable. Fighting 2? Tough, but possible. 3, yeah, it's not going to happen. So I ended up having to run all the way back a few times, actually, off camera, just to get back to the end. And I did manage to get the Ring of the Living, so now I don't have to go back into the frigid outskirts ever again. Now we took on Lud and Zalin, the king's pet, at the end of the frigid outskirts. Did take 4 attempts, but we did defeated them, got their souls, and after that we went back to the Grand Cathedral, and we talked to Alsana, because I did farm for the 50 Lois souls, which we needed in order to get the Lois armor from Alsana, as well as going up actually talking to her face to face, which will grant us her soul. So we did that, and having the 50 Lois souls will also get us allow us to buy the Burnt Ivory King from Walden over there. And yeah, that was it. Yeah. There's not really much to say about the frigid outskirts, except raging blizzards and constantly respawning reindeers, which are one of the worst enemies ever. Probably not far off, but yeah. And with that, we finished up the Crown of the Ivory King. Yep. And then, between episodes, I did some farming, yeah. I went back, kind of went through my collection and just kind of farmed for more enemy drops, yeah. Basically, just trying to get everything I can. I know the stone soldiers in the Drangelic castles, they drop their spears as well as a Lois shield. I went back up to the Dragon Shrine to get the Dragon War Pick. I think is what it's called. I still have to get the Shield of Glory from the one Drake Keeper, but he's gonna be annoying to get to. I have to despawn enemies, but I just basically just went around farming enemies for item drops, particularly weapons, armors. I did also go back down to the Shrine of Amana for more Twinkling Titanites. And with the souls I got, I did level up some. I think I put a couple points into strength, I believe. I think our strength is at like 20 something. Yeah, 26. Okay. Upgrading some weapons, armors as well. Upgraded various weapons. This one here, the Elaeum Lois. That's what we get from Alsana's soul. So, yeah, and that's basically all I did. Just kind of went around, farmed some more items that I didn't have, because I will be doing New Game Plus, and I do not recommend farming for equipment in New Game Plus. Try to get, if you can, a new game, while the enemies are less frequent and easier. Yeah. I still have to get the dragon scales for the Dragon Remnant Covenant, but the rewards for that covenant are the Dragon Headstone and the Dragon Torso Stone, which will transform your character into a Dragon Warrior, like up in the shrine. And the third reward is the Dragon Greatsword, or the Black Dragon Greatsword, whatever it's called. But it's the weapon that Dragon Fang Villard was using. The guy who invaded us in Dragon Shrine, he had the Greatsword. So those are the covenant rewards from that covenant. And so I will get that before I go in the new game, because do not farm dragon scales in New Game Plus. Do not. It's a real pain. But and that was it. Yep, that's all I did between episodes. Yep. Farming. Fun. But, yep. And today we are going to finish up the base, or finish up the new game of Dark Souls 2. Yep. We have 3 things left to do. Well, 4 actually, but we have to go talk to Vendrick, because now that we have all 3 DLC crowns, he has a special something for us. I also need to go and check with the Chancellor Wellinger up in Drangelic Castle, because I'm pretty sure he has something else for us as well, now that we have the Giant's Kinship. Yeah, I think he has a dialogue line for that, as well as, I believe, some items, but we'll check in with him. And then after that, we're heading down to the final boss. Yep. We'll be fighting Nishandra. And if I played my cards right, we'll also be fighting Aldia as well. So that is the plan for today. Be finishing up the game. And our equipment for today, at least starting off, we have Elaeum Lois, +5. Yep, it's a curved sword we get from Alsana's boss soul. Yep. I think it's a fitting end, I believe. I like it. Yeah, it has a special heavy attack, which if you hit an ally Phantom, it will heal them up. So, a little support there. It does consume durability, but as long as you don't R2, we should be fine. It still damages enemies, it's just it uses up a lot of durability, and I'd rather not do that. It also has I think, S scaling and dexterity, yeah. It also has a little bleed on it too. Although Nishandra and I believe Aldia are both immune to bleed. Although I think they're both susceptible to poison still, which is odd, but We got Elaeum Lois, the King Shield, Dragon Chime, got a Corinthian Ring of Blades, Clear Bluestone for faster casting, and Send the Ritual for additional attunement slots. Yep. I needed this in order to have a denial on, so. And our armor, starting off with the Thieves' Masks. I will change this out to the Witch's Veil, because Nishandra does inflict a curse, so having the Witch's Veil definitely helps out in that fight. Just so you don't get cursed all the time and you lose max health and all that stuff, so I will change this out for Nishandra. I have my Fume Sorcerer robes, gloves, and the Alon Knight leggings. Yep. You get these from the Fume Sorcerers in the Broom Tower. It's a pretty good armor. I mean, pretty light, pretty good defense values. And the Alon Knight legging, I think, is probably my... Couldn't quite figure out what to use for the leggings, but I think the Alon Knight works out pretty well. These are blues, like a purple. It kind of matches. And I have Flask, Gem, Poison Throwing Knives, because I am going to try at least maybe hopefully proc Poison on Nishandra. Maybe Aldia as well, because Aldia has a special fire cloak thing, and although it reduces damage, it should still be able to poison him through it, so hopefully that'll work here, but we'll see. Arrows just in case I ever want to put on my bow. Here are my stats. Again, I think I put a few points into strength, so aiming for 30 strength, and after that we'll probably dump points into vigor. Level 245 at the end here. 3 copies of the Great Lightning Spear, 2 copies of Sunlight Blade, and Denial. Yep. Yeah, you can still infuse Elaine Lois with Sunlight Blade, so... And Nishandra, I know that Nishandra is weak to lightning. I believe Aldia is as well, but him I'm not so sure. But I know Nishandra is weak to lightning. Alright. Shall we finish this game up? Or at least the new game here, anyway? I think so. Alright, so first stop, we'll stop with Vendrick. I think everyone else here has nothing new for us. Vendrick. This one. Although it does... I wonder if Agdane has anything new. Alright, Vendrick. Give us your words of wisdom. Alright, Vendrick, we have all the crowns. What are your words?
One day fire will fade, and dark will become a curse. Men will be free from death, left to wander eternally. Dark will again be ours, and in our true shape, we can bury the false legends of yore. Only, is this our only choice? Seeker of fire, coveter of the throne. Seek strength. The rest will follow.
The ashen mist fades, yep. That was a whole lot. Heat radiated from the ancient crowns. Yep. Bury the ancient legends of yore, so man takes his true shape. Seek strength, and the rest will follow. Yep. He basically gave us his blessing. Yep. It's I don't think it actually says it anywhere. Where's this crown? Yeah, I don't think it says it anywhere. But as long as you wear one of the crowns, well, at this point, once you wear one of the crowns, you'll receive what's called Vendrick's Blessing. Yeah, basically, as long as you wear the crowns, every time you die, you will not hollow. Yep. I mean, I could demonstrate it here, but I'll demonstrate here in a moment. But yeah, I mean, I think it also makes us quote immune to curse. I'm not 100% sure on that. Yeah, I'm not certain on that. We can always try it when we fight Nishandra, but... Alright. And we can no longer interact with the... Yep, so Vendrick is done. Yep, no, nothing else for him. Let me throw on a crown and the... nullifies... Well... I mean, I don't want to lose my... I don't want to lose my souls, but... I don't know if that would prevent hollowing, but I don't think it does. I mean, I can always run back and grab my souls anyway, so... I'll put on the King's Vendrick's crown. Slap this back on. Alright. I'll lure them by the stairs so I can just run back faster, but... This might take a hot minute. Come on. Need to show off that we don't hollow when we die. So now we should respawn at the bonfire and not be hollowed. As long as we wear the crown anyway. There we go. We have not hollowed, we have not lost health. As long as you wear a crown. Now, you kind of sidestep the curse, basically. Yeah. So now that shows that we have Vendrick's Blessing active. Well, when you're wearing a crown, you have Vendrick's Blessing. Yep. Alright. And I think that lasts until we enter New Game Plus. Yep. It lasts for the rest of the new games. Whatever the rest of this new game will have Vendrick's Blessings on the crowns. But once we hit New Game Plus, the blessing is removed. Yep. So it's there while it lasts. Alright. So now I'm going to go run back and grab my souls, and I'll see you back at Drangelic Castle. Alright, now we're in Drangelic Castle, yep. Our next order of business is to go check with Chancellor Wellingers. I believe he has some more stuff for us after we get the Giant's Kinship. I'm not certain I got that. But we're going to go check anyway. So I'll probably speed this up real quick. Yeah, this is the special move that heals allies. It's a quick little, it's a nice little jab. But again, it consumes durability. Yep. Alright, Chancellor. You have new stuff for us?
Welcome, visitor. Our guests are treated with honor. This is the way of our castle. Tell me if you should require anything.
And if we hit talk, you should have something new.
The King of Giants. How did you slay that behemoth? Incredible. Now, take these.
We get the Royal Derrick Espada Ropura and the Leowin armor set. I think it's a thrusting sword, like a dagger, and the armor set he's wearing. And you get that once you get the giant's kinship. So you just come up here, talk to him, and he'll give it to you.
The king had a dear queen. Long ago, the queen came to us, alone, from a faraway land. She warned our lord of the looming threat. The king crossed.
Yep. I also came back here and bought a whole bunch of stuff. I don't think I've gotten this one yet. I was buying one of these. I'll buy one of those. Yep. These become available, I believe, once you go through the Shrine of Amana? Either the Shrine of Amana or the Undead Crypt. These are the pre-order bonuses of Dark Souls 2. Yeah, so they add them into the game for you, for everybody else eventually. We're good. Okay.
Gone so soon. Be safe on your travels.
Alright. Here's the Royal Derrick. It's a dagger. Yeah, dagger fashioned from rare G steel, boosting an unusually long blade. Was a precious alloy created in the eastern lands of Mira, a composition long kept secret from foreign lands. That is until Chancellor Wellinger was ordered by King Vendrick to grant the gifted blacksmith Leowin a lifetime contract, whatever the cost, in order to introduce the rare alloy to Drangelic. So, Leowin is the blacksmith who creates the G steel. Basically, it's a short sword. Yeah, it's the it's a curved sword moveset right there. That I'm not too sure about that one, but wow. Without even upgrading, it's already pretty strong. That the high critical modifier. The only downside is it has pretty low poise damage. But here's the Espada Ropura. Thrusting sword, Chancellor Wellinger, forged from rare G steel, the masterpiece of the great blacksmith Leowin that he brought along as a gift when he left Mira for Drangelic. Yeah, pretty can't quite get a good angle on it. Yep. Again, a very good deck scaling. Also got some pretty good durability as well. But we'll stick with our Elean Lois. Yep. As well as the Leowin armor. Reinforced with rare gene steel, belongs to Chancellor Wellinger. Quality equipment that is both light and strong. Crafted by the castle's resident master blacksmith Leowin, and supplied only to a select few. Its work easily identified by its lack of ostentation. Leowin focused solely on an economy of simplicity and strength. Yep. Basically focused on what's it? Function over form. If I can just find the boots. This is gonna take a second. What's it next to? It's next to Drangelic, so it's down by the bottom. There we go. Not bad, not bad. could definitely mix and match for this one. Oh. Yeah, probably the kings. That's probably your go-to. Yeah, that's charred. I like it. Maybe throw on the Forlorn Hood. Yep. It's pretty good. But we're going to stick with our Fume Sorceress stuff. It doesn't have the same poise, but... Yeah. Where are you? You're up top. And... Alon. There we go. Alright. Alright. So we did Chancellor Wellinger. Oops. I tend to have the H feather there, so... Alright. So Chancellor Wellinger is done. Let's go back down and take on the final bosses. Yep. Should be Nashandra for sure, and hopefully, if I did it right, it would be Aldia at the end. Well, we have to put on the King's Ring anyway. Yeah, the door seals up every time, so you have to put the King's Ring on. Alright. So let's just throw on the King's Ring. This will also keep the statues from unpetrifying themselves. Yeah. If you don't have the King's Ring, this guy comes to life, but... And here she is, the Emerald Herald. She shows up here with when you get the Giant's Kinship. Alright, Herald.
My journey is already complete. My name is Shanalot. The dragon gave me this name, for I was born with none. I was born of dragons, contrived by men, by ones who would cozen fate herself. They are the ones who created me. But they failed. I did not come out as intended. Fate would not be bested, and men were cursed once again. If you proceed, Nashandra will come after you, knowing that you will take the throne and link the fire. She covets the first flame and the great soul. Put Nashandra to rest.
Yep. Born of dragons, contrived by men. Yep, Shanalot. Yep. And I had to look up the word cousin or yeah, whatever, cousin fate. It basically is to mean to see, win over, or induce to do something by artful coaxing. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, men try to put one over on fate, huh? But it failed. Yep. Yep. Yeah, she warns us that Nashandra will follow us, because she covets the throne. But, alright. Anything else? Nope. Alright. Well, thanks for the warning. Because we opened the gate, which means Nashandra will follow. So the throne of wants. Well, I mean, she would have followed us if we stayed, if we had the Giant's Kinship and and the Throne Watcher, Throne Defender were still around, but now that they're gone, she shows up in the arena once you get the Giant's Kinship. Which means there are actually two different cutscenes involving Nashandra. One is one we're gonna see one here because she's already in the arena once we enter. There's another one where she'll enter the arena after we beat Throne Watcher or Throne Defender. So, yep. Chandra. I was just checking. We have a whole bunch of summon signs. We have, what was it, Bradley of the Old Guard. We have Vengarl. And this should be Jugo. Yep, Benhart of Jugo. Yep. So we have 3 summons here. Probably won't be needing them, but you never know. I mean, Nishandra, she's pretty straightforward. Her biggest thing is that she will summon little black orbs around the arena. And those orbs will cause damage, but they'll also cause curse buildup. So they're the reasons why we went and got the Witch's Veil all the way back in the gutter. So, in fact, we will actually put that on here. So now we don't have to deal with the curse effect, but they should still do damage. Nishandra herself is pretty straightforward. She has a few melee attacks if you get close. She has a little ranged beam attack at a distance. Should be pretty straightforward to dodge, but she still hits pretty hard. Her attacks also inflict curse as well. Yep, not just the orbs, her melee attacks, I think her beam attack as well. I think her beam attack is magic damage. It might be dark, or it might be both. But yep. Nishandra, yeah. Yeah, but other than that, she's pretty straightforward. Nothing special about it. The little orbs she summons, you can destroy them. You just have to walk up to them and melee them, and they'll disappear. Should only take 1 hit. Yep. So, and after Nishandra will be Aldia. Yep, and Aldia is, again, it's pretty straightforward. His most dangerous attack would be he summons basically a giant spirit ball. He'll sit there, he'll gather energy in a spot, and he'll throw a giant fireball, which will one-shot you. Like, if you get hit by that thing, it will kill you outright. And other than that, he has smaller fireballs. While he's active, he has like a little flame shield, which will do fire damage up close. But every now and then, he will his little fire shield will drop down. He'll kind of become passive, and that's the point where you can beat him up. Yeah, that's basically all it really is it to these 2. They're not very difficult, but if you're not careful, they can still wipe you out pretty quickly. Alright. I find Nishandra to be harder than Aldia, just because Aldia doesn't really do anything. But it's more of a waiting game than anything else. Alright. I think we can just get this going. And we'll slap on Denial here, and then we'll buff up and go right at it. You could try poisoning her, although I think it might take a couple daggers, but we do throw them pretty quickly anyway, so... Alright. Denial. And then... we'll buff up here. Let's do this.
Brave undead, you have proven yourself to me. with the dark.
She's summoning her little orbs. Yep. See, we're taking contact damage. One hit just. Oop. So it's what, 4 daggers, 5. Oop. That's an AoE. Oh, she did her beam attack for some reason. You are pretty resistant to the getting poisoned. There he goes. Alright. Not particularly effective method for poisoning her. I'm gonna save my lightning spears for Aldia. Take care of this little block. Ow. Heal up here. And that's just basically it. She's just... her biggest threat is kind of neutralized by the Witch's Veil, the cursing effect from the orbs. Yeah. Boom. Victory achieved. Soul of Chandra.
Many monarchs have come and gone. One drowned in poison, another succumbed to flame. Still another slumbers in the realm of earth. Not one of them stood here as you do now. You, conqueror of adversities. Give us your answer.
Do this real quick. There we go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he could be poisoned also, but just like Nashandra, it's probably gonna take a bunch. Ow. I ran out of stamina. Oh, come on. They had pretty good tracking. How does Lightning Spear do? Not too bad. I don't think you can just sidestep him. Yeah, you can't just sidestep him. Okay. Yeah. I saw that one coming, but I was already mid-animation. Fire up. Can't get too close to him, otherwise you will take fire damage. That should be... yeah. It's gonna take a while, yeah. Alright. Screw the poison, it's not really gonna work. reduce the fire damage. Don't get too close. He has a little AoE when he spawns back in. There's the big one. Let's get some distance. I would try and see if spell parry works on it, but it would probably kill us. I don't want that to happen. Just get distance, sprint to one side. Come on, stop stalling. Come on, thank you. Staller. Yeah, he doesn't really do anything. I think he just enraged, so he's gonna. Yeah. Guess he can do it again? Nope. Big one. But a bit better tracking looked like, but yeah. That's why you don't get too close. Do I still have the ring on? I think I still have the king's ring on. Still kind of enraged. It might be because I have the king's ring on, for all I know.
I lost everything, but remain here, patiently. The throne will certainly receive you. But the question remains. Which you want, truly? Light, dark, or something else entirely?
And that was Aldia, Scholar of the First Sin. Yep. Whew. So now we have two choices. This will put us onto the Throne of Want. This is the game's like base default option. Yeah. Or we can do this one, which was introduced in the Crown? I think it might have been introduced with the Scholar of the First Sin. Yeah, it's the second option, yeah. So now we have a choice. But before that, we have a soul to look at. Soul of Nishandra. Queen of Drangelic, the fragments of the abyss of untold origin, nourished their beings by the sides of would-be monarchs. Perhaps they were simply ordeals on the road to kinghood. One day the flames will fade, and only darkness will remain, unless, of course, an heir arrives. Yeah. I think you can get her scythe out of it, a bow, and I believe a chime. Yeah. One day the flames will fade, and only darkness will remain. And I like how Aldia didn't give us any souls, nor did he give us his soul. Yep. So Aldia is not dead. Yeah, we didn't kill him. Yep. So now we have a choice. I don't feel like doing the DLCs in New Game Plus, so we'll go with this one. So I know that one will be there even if we don't do the DLCs. This one I'm not too sure, but
There is no path. Beyond the scope of life, beyond the reach of dawn. What could possibly await us? And yet we see it insatiably, such as our fate.
Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, yep. That ending was basically the Lord of Dark ending for Dark Souls 1. Yeah, you basically don't sit on the throne, you don't blink the flame, you just kind of left. Yeah. Embrace the Twilight, I believe it's what they called it. Or I think that's what Aldia called it, but anyway. Dark Souls 2, yep. Definitely has its issues, but overall, I think it's a solid addition to the Dark Souls games. I mean, it is probably the weakest of the FromSoft's Soulsborne games, but you're already comparing it to some pretty top-tier games to begin with, so... a lot of people, their main issues with the game would be what they call enemy placement, or just basically the sheer number of enemies. You can get... The biggest thing, well, one that I can think of is in the Bastille, once you unpetrify the person leading to the ruined sentinels. Once you step through that door, you're gonna get sworn by like 6 royal swordsmen, and it's that kind of stuff that a lot of people don't like. To me, it's the animations. Yeah, some of their animations are really wonky, or they're rough. They seem rough. but I don't know. I mean, I enjoyed Dark Souls 2 when it came out. I didn't have a problem with it personally. Definitely had to get some frustrating at times, but that's what all Souls games are about. Yes, step back and, you know, come back at it at a different time, but yeah. Definitely recommend playing it if you can. Yeah, do recommend going Dark Souls 1 first and then 2, but although you don't really have to do 2. You can skip 2 if you want, but still recommend playing it. Alright. With that, we are done with New Game. I will do New Game Plus, but I'm going to have to spend some time gathering the various dragon scales. Probably either from the Dragon Warriors in the Shrine or from the Imperfects in Shulva, but yeah, I will do that. Yeah. But now that we've beaten Deshandra, Cloanne should have Tiny chunks infinitely. Yeah. As long as you don't go into New Game Plus, she'll have chunks for us to buy. So I'll definitely spend my time buying chunks from her to upgrade various weapons and armors that I probably will be continuing to use, but anyway, yeah, Dark Souls 2. I say it's good. I'm just gonna let the credits roll, and I'll see you when we get back. Bam. Put this back in Majula. Alright. If you rest at the bonfire, here's the begin journey to Drangelic. This is basically enter New Game Plus right here, but yeah. Alright. We'll do a quick run around from all the various NPCs. I'm pretty sure they don't have anything new. I think they're stuck at their pre-Nishandra fight, but let's just do a quick lap.
Bearer of the curse until
Yep.
those who come to Drangelic, it happens that boon, although he does offer, perhaps.
Yeah, nothing new here. I think the only change should be with Chloanne. She should have chunks now.
Have you seen that? The flame. The flame. May you find peace.
Yep, nothing. Him. Should nothing be for her.
Hello again. Once Master... I tried... Oh. Be safe. Hello.
Bye.
Be safe.
What about you, good sir?
Your visit is... The forces of magic, it is a fitting. I suspect sorcery...
Yeah, his spells are infinite at this point.
One day...
I'm pretty sure Leningrad is nothing new, but gotta check with them anyway.
My witless justice... Well...
I think I have to buy. I don't think I have one. I need one of these. I'll wait for one of those. Pretty sure I have these.
I'll be around.
Alright, so. Alright, Chloanne, you should have some new stuff for us.
You've been long away. Well, you know how they... Well, in the... What was it? Since each, maybe
Yeah,
that...
that's all. But if you go here, she now has chunks. Yep, infinite chunks. Although she doesn't have any of these, which I really want, but... So now that you beat Nishandra, her chunks become infinite, so now we can upgrade a whole bunch of stuff to plus 9. Yep. And slabs aren't that hard to get, so we'll be having a lot of plus 10 weapons and armors.
No interest.
So now we don't have to go down and farm the enemies in Black Gulch, the Tar monsters. Yeah. So now we don't have to do that anymore. And this is Lycia's tombstone. Yep. Pray, pay 7,000. And her ghost should appear. Yep. This is one of the unique features of Dark Souls 2, that NPCs can be summoned again from where they died, but...
You've had quite a... You must have a... What a wonderful feeling. To cast miracles, you must...
Yeah, but their inventories are stuck to whenever they died, so... So look, we already have all this, so we don't really need more. Yep, alright.
No need for the gods.
Alright, that's it for you. I don't think Shakwar has anything new.
It seems that... Why not? Just because... Honorable sovereign, and do great...
Nothing new. I'm pretty sure...
Hey!
You have nothing.
Oh, yeah. Not built the tomb, and there's...
Yeah. I think I need one of these. I think I need one of these. Just so I can say I have everything.
Cheers for that.
Alright. Kale should have nothing new, but I'm gonna talk to him anyway. I still need to kill those pigs. Yep. You kill those pigs, bigger pigs appear, and you kill those pigs, and another big pig appears. But
It seems that it makes... Wait, who are you again?
Yep. All the fires are lit. Nope, Chandra doesn't add anything. Double check down here, but should be nothing new. Yeah. Yep, nothing new. Alright. Just trying to be thorough. I don't think he has anything new for us either. I think we bought all his stuff.
You need arm?
Yeah, nothing new. Alright.
Are you sure? Looking for... Oh! Are you sure?
Alright. And Valencia should be nothing new. Nope, nothing new. Alright. Do I have these? I do not. Wow.
Thanks.
Alright. Pretty sure Wellinger has nothing new. Yep, I think everyone's stuck at pre-Nishandra, except for Cloanne, who now has chunks for us infinitely, but... yeah, let's do that here. Next, I know we can get her scythe, a bow, and I believe a chime out of the Nishandra's soul. I think I want the bow, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, she's just... Ooh.
Hello there.
Let's see. Oh, here it is. The Scythe of Wants. Deck scaling with some dark. Ooh, that could actually be pretty good. Although scythes in Dark Souls 2 aren't the best, yeah. The old one of the Abyss was reborn in death, split into minuscule fragments and spread across the land. After regaining their shapes, they crawled forth, yearning for strong souls in search of greater power. Yep. You have the Chime of Want. Yeah, we can use it. Really good dark scaling, although I think Kaith's Chime is probably better. I think it's overall better, but yeah. Taking their shapes, they courted monarchs of considerable power, which they desire to make their own. And here's the Bow of Want. I'll probably grab this one. Does lightning damage though. Bow created from the soul of Nishandra, the old one of the Abyss, yada yada. Light and dark are two sides of the same coin, much like the soul and the curse. The beings who presented themselves to those in search of kinghood were drawn to their awesome strength. I don't know, I'll think about it. I might grab the Bow of Wants. I'm pretty sure it doesn't need arrows to shoot, but I think it also consumes their durability for each shot, but I'll think about it.
It is a pale beast.
Just buying out her stock. Alright.
Come back again.
And I'm also pretty sure there's nothing from Strayed either. But I'm just gonna check anyway, just to make sure.
Well, very, aren't you?
Yep. Nothing from Strayed.
Many in it. It is all edited.
We already got all the forlorn stuff. Alright.
Feeble. Let's hope.
Let's go back to Majula. I'll probably slice this out, but maybe do some rearranging, but anyway. I can't believe I forgot that stuff, but oh well. Alright. And with that, we'll call it an episode. Yep. Finished up Dark Souls 2, Scarlet of the First Sin. Yep. We finished up a new game cycle of it, anyway. Yeah, we just kind of had to hop around, talk to some people. What was the first thing? Oh, the first thing we did is we went and talked with King Vendrick. Yep, in the Memories of the King. Yep. So now that we had finished up the Crown of the Ivory King, we had all the the crowns from the DLCs. And by having all the crowns, you talk to Vendrick. It gives you some pretty deep lore words. And then he bestows upon us his blessing. Yep. So for as long as we wear a crown, we will not hollow when we die. That it's only true when you wear a crown. If you don't have anything else, you will hollow when you die. But and the blessing lasts until you go to the next new game cycle. Yep. So as long as we stay in the cycle, we'll have the blessing. But once we start New Game Plus, it goes away. And after talking with Vendrick, we went and talked with Chancellor Wellinger. Because once you pick up the Giant's kinship, he'll have stuff for us. He gave us the Royal Derrick, the Espada Ropera? I think that's how you pronounce it. I think it's Spanish, but a thrusting sword and a dagger. As well as the Leeuwin armor. Yep. Chest piece, gauntlets, and leggings. Yep, there's no helmet to it, but pretty cool looking armor set. I do like it. And then after that, we made our way into the final boss. Yep. Had a quick stop with Chanarlot, our Emerald Herald here. Basically telling us her origins and how people have tried to circumvent the curse or to coax it or whatever. And she warns that Nishandra would follow us into the throne because she covets the throne and all that stuff. But then we made our way to the Throne of Once, where we took on Nishandra, Queen of Drangelic. Yep. Not a hard boss, pretty tanky, but other than that, she's pretty easy. The only thing you have to watch out for again is she summons little ghastly orbs that have a damaging AoE around them, and they'll inflict a curse. But since we had the Witch's Veil on, the curse effect didn't have to worry about the curse effect, but we still have to worry about the damage part. But luckily, it's relatively slow damage. So all you have to do is get up to it, whack it once, it disappears, and once you take care of one, you should have a pretty decent safe zone. But yeah. Other than that, she's pretty straightforward, actually. I forgot to check out her weapons. Oh well. Yes. Alright. So, as I was saying, sorry about that. I'll probably splice out the visiting Ornifex and Strayed and put it before the recap here. But yeah, so we took on Nishandra. Yeah, other than her little ghastly orbs, she's pretty straightforward. Simple melee attacks. She has one beam attack that, for some reason, she likes to use at close range, but she also has an AoE. But other than those three, she's just tanky, and that's about it. Yeah, she can be poisoned, although poison daggers is not the best idea for her. Yeah, using the Manslayer probably with using the Manslayer or Poison Mist or Toxic or Dark Fog. Yeah, but anyway, we did poison her with the throwing knives eventually. I think it took like 10 or so to poison her, so yeah, because we used to have like 60 of these things, and now we only have like 38. But yeah, so we beat up Nishandra, grabbed her souls, and then we quickly prepared for Aldia as he monologued his way in. Yep. And I think you have to beat all the old ones, talk to him at the various locations in the Undead Crypt, the Dragon Shrine. I believe you have to say yes, though I'm not 100% sure on that. I always say yes anyway, just to be sure. And you also have to kill Vendrick before you beat Nishandra. Yep. And once all those are done, Aldia will show up. He's just an extra fight. You don't get anything from him. He doesn't give souls. He doesn't drop a ball soul. He just monologues. But I think he also opens up the alternate ending. So, yep. Yeah, so he was. He's a bit more involved in the Chandra. He has some pretty. The smaller fire orbs have some pretty good tracking on them. So. Again, he teleports around. He doesn't move except for teleporting around. He has like a little flame veil that increases his defenses while also having like a little fire AoE on him. I still have the King's Ring, so that little extra flamey he got was probably because I had the ring on. But yeah. So he might do it anyway, even if we don't have it. But yeah, the giant fireball, the little spirit bomb type thing. He's got little tentacle attacks, which and he will drop his fire shield when he teleports. So you do have an opportunity to get him a few times, but it does come up pretty quickly. So wail on him and then back off. And you just kind of have to rinse and repeat. Yeah. And again, we did defeat him, but we didn't kill him because he didn't give us any souls. He didn't drop his soul. He also monologued after we beat him up, so I'm pretty sure he's still alive. So, yeah. And then he talked about, what we wanted. Do we want the throne or do we want something else? And I decided to do the alternate ending, where we exited the throne. We did not sit upon it. We embraced the twilight between the Age of Fire and the Age of Dark. Then we watched the cutscene, hit the credits, came here. I eventually talked with all the NPCs. The only change is that Cloanne now has Titanite chunks in unlimited amounts, so now we can just buy them when we need them. And we went to Ornifex and Stray just to check out what we got. Anything from Chandra's soul, which is just her scythe, a chime, and a bow. I might pick up the bow. I'll think about it, but yeah. Then we came back here, and that was it. Yeah, that was it. We have finished up Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. Yep. Again, I will be doing a New Game Plus playthrough of at least the base game. I'm pretty sure the only changes in the DLCs is just extra enemies, and at that point it's like, no thanks. I mean, they're already hard enough. I don't need any more harder than it is. The only reason to go through the DLCs is to get the extra, maybe a duplicate of a weapon here or armor there, but other than that, I mean, it's just like there's no real point going through the DLCs again. Especially once I get the dragon scales, the imperfects are meaningless. But yeah. The only reason to go through the DLCs again is just the extra weapons and armor. But again, I'm pretty sure there's nothing else, no changes to them except for new enemies. But the base game of Dark Souls 2, that's different. That has new enemies. It also has new items. Bosses drop new stuff. Yeah. Most of them drop an additional ring. And there's also new interactions, especially with the Duke's Dear Freya. There's a new interaction with her. That's one of the new enemies, especially in the Things Betwixt. Yep, there'll actually be new enemies there. And also the chest here and the little passage here will actually change as well. Yep. Yeah. And items that used to, like the Titanite shard up in Molden's little house there, the Titanite shard will become like a Titanite chunk. Yeah, that kind of changes as well. The 4 old ones will drop in a new soul item. Yep, so we'll have new weapons available to us too, for at least boss trades anyway. Yeah, it's actually a lot of new stuff in New Game Plus. So I will do at least the run through of New Game Plus. New Game Plus might dip my toes into it just to show you the 1 or 2 things that it adds. But yeah, so that's the plan. So for now, but before we do New Game Plus, I am going to finish up my little farming. Gotta get the rest of the items, because I do not recommend farming in New Game Plus. No. But so I will finish up my farming here in New Game. Get the dragon scales, get our weapons and armors that I want upgraded to the max. But that's going to take a little bit, so it might be a hot minute before we see New Game Plus of the Dark Souls 2, but it will come. I will do it. But again, that is for another episode, and I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. And for good measure,